is Dhondup Aretsang, and today we're going to be talking about America's college problem. Identifying the problem. If education is regarded as one of the most significant attributes of a functioning and successful society, why has it become increasingly difficult to access? This comes as a result of the gradually inflating costs of educational institutions. Over the last 20 years alone, the price of a four-year education in higher educational institutions has increased by a whopping 179.2% for just the average student. A significant US-based problem detrimental towards American society is the price and authenticity of education within America, specifically the inflating costs of colleges. So why is this such a serious problem? Well, today it is clear that education is being held to a higher standard compared to the past. The concept of graduating from college and earning a degree to become successful has influenced modern society to the point where the agenda of education has been transformed. This idea of how colleges lead to success has made the public susceptible to the influence of educational institutes, to the point where even colleges have enough power to manipulate tuition costs. Additionally, colleges continue to raise their tuition price as a result of federal loan money being provided to these institutions, causing colleges to freely change prices even if it is more expensive. Average costs of tuition in America are strenuous on many families, making it increasingly difficult, especially for those of lower income backgrounds, locations, and even ethnicities, to send their children to these educational institutes. Many students today, including someone you might know or even yourself, might find themselves in similar situations with generating low income, especially compared to many other families in the world. Throughout the search for higher education, many find themselves researching and struggling with the price of college tuition and how they can secure a place within an affordable college. So, a solution for this problem could be temporary solutions. And now, these temporary solutions consist of financial aid, scholarships, grants, and student loans. There are several temporary solutions to help students lower and at times even possibly get completely around the costly college tuition fees. These options, however, are not guaranteed and often require certain criteria that many students may not meet. These options include, as I mentioned before, financial aid, grants, scholarships, work study programs, and student loans. These solutions, however, are limited to students because of certain requirements that may be needed to apply and place in these get-arounds. For example, something like a scholarship might require a student to have strong academic standings, an extracurricular background, or in some cases, a low income background. Another example is that student loans become an issue later on in life, especially if students aren't making enough money to pay off the loan and go into debt. Some people even reach out to federal governments to lower college costs to make it affordable in many different ways, like increasing the chance for a scholarship or even just reducing the prices of college tuition in general. A second solution towards this problem is limiting college spending. Many colleges have trouble beginning to limit college spending because of the ever changing modern standards. A handful of these standards include technology, opportunities, and even administrative staff. Students want to be comfortable within colleges, causing many of these institutions to spend money for that very purpose. A way for colleges to begin to limit their spending is to focus more on what students need instead of using the majority of spending stuff on what students want. A majority of colleges utilize spending to create an environment to entice and appease students to join their institutions. This often comes in both materialistic forms and educational forms. These forms are spending money on amenities and limiting spending on administration. This plan, however, is complicated because of the varying spending budgets each college can utilize. Some colleges may need to focus on amenities and administration to maintain their institutions, while others don't. This imbalance causes various complications within this possible solution. And for our final solution, we have private lending. Finally, the most permanent and reliable solution to prevent rising college tuition fees would be to completely cut the federal government out of the student loan business. Cutting off the federal government would stop the flow of money that has been enabling colleges to constantly raise tuition costs without proper restrictions. This would help reintroduce private lending. And reintroducing private lending will lead many of these institutes to become more responsible in the loan market and prompt them to control expenses. Private lending would also help reduce the amount of money taxpayers are at risk of losing due to loan defaults, preventing the loss of billions of dollars that could be used to lower tuition fees and make colleges more affordable and accessible instead. Present and emerging examples of this type of private lending comes in the form of income share agreements. These income share agreements allow students to obtain financing from their schools and slowly pay back their debts in the form of a percentage of their income after graduating from that institution. This would mean that their monthly loan payments would fluctuate according to what they receive via their incomes. So, if a student has a lower income, the loan comes in a lower percentage without causing major conflicts with debt. So, which of these are the best solution? Well, the best solution has to be private lending. This method of private lending is the most efficient and reliable way to not only reduce college debt in the future, but also make colleges more affordable and accessible to students of all backgrounds because of its integrity and plausibility. Thank you for listening.